Welcome to Broadway with a Twist, the Tonys.
Before we begin the show, we would like to acknowledge that we are on the traditional territory of the Anishinaabe, Haudenosaunee, Lenapehoik, and Chinookan peoples. We do this as a small step towards reconciliation.
Thank you, Hannah. You are here tonight for a great show, and we are so happy that you've joined us to help celebrate the London Food Bank's Arts for All Kids program, which has just finished its 35th year. It's been an amazing journey for our Arts for All Kids families, and we begin our 36th year and are excited to welcome an enrollment that boasts 80% new Canadian families. I would like to thank a number of people for their support throughout the years. First, the piano man. Brian Ratcliffe is the musical genius behind this show, selecting the songs specifically for each performer and creating the arrangement for all the pieces. He has been my partner almost since the beginning of Arts for All Kids. He pulled alongside me to help as my friend and eventually became my husband. He is my partner in all things, and without him, Arts for All Kids and Broadway with a Twist would not exist. Thank you, honey. I'm blessed to have him stand beside me always. I would also like to thank this amazing band that I was going to say see, but maybe when the lights come up, some of whom have played for every Broadway with a Twist show. These professional instrumentalists and friends readily agreed to be part of this show, and they elevate every piece. Thank you for giving of your time and talent. We are so lucky you are here. Special thank you to Linda Wharton for agreeing to be our conductor tonight. I know I have a lot to say, but I figure after 35 years, it's okay. And thank you to the folks who are working backstage, including the staff of Wolf Hall and our creative team. You leave me speechless with your talent and generosity. And to the cast who are about to show you, they really are the best performers in town. Thank you for everything, for your hearts, your talent, and time. Brian and I are privileged to call you friends and blessed you are part of tonight's show. We would also like to acknowledge our main sponsors, the London Food Bank, Wesley Knox United Church, and the estate of Tony Strangis. So there is a twist with our name. If you've been furiously going through YouTube looking for Tony Award-winning songs, it's not a bad thing to do. However, I'd like to explain. Tony Strangis was one of Brian's closest friends and the person who introduced him to the wonders of musical theater. He was our daughter's Uncle Tony, writing partner to Brian, but most of all, cherished family friend. He was always interested in Arts for All Kids, believing, along with us, that every child should have the opportunity to participate in the arts, regardless of financial status. We lost Tony to cancer last summer, but before he passed, it was decided that this year's Broadway with a Twist would not only allow us to raise money for the children and youth we serve, but also act as a tribute to Tony. He was a composer, lyricist, and encyclopedia of musical theater knowledge. When Brian couldn't find a particular piece he wanted to arrange, Tony would have it. And during his lifetime, following in the footsteps of Sondheim, Tony made a list of songs from Broadway that were either a favorite of his or one that he wished he'd written. So tonight's show is compiled from that very long list and also includes a number of pieces Tony wrote himself. It is the reason your program card has his picture on one side and stars beside certain pieces included in the show that he created. You will hear performances considered world premieres and pieces that have only been performed once or twice. You see, Tony was quiet about his prolific abilities, and tonight we get to shine a light on his talent. And he would be pleased it isn't just for his edification, but for a cause like Arts for All Kids, which, by the way, you are welcome to make an extra donation to. If you so desire, no pressure, please, if you want to, please check our box office desk to find out more. If you're feeling like you are carrying too much cash around, we would be happy to lighten your load, and you can place your tinkling or quiet money in the violin case in the lobby. Thank you for being here to support the kids and for helping us to pay tribute to an amazing family friend. Ladies and gentlemen, the Tonys.
But on this island the earth sings as soon as the storm ends. And when she moons her down, she realized she was walking with old friends, the birds. The trees. The frogs. And the breezes. All her fear. She knew Aseka was near. You never been away from the sea, child. You're gonna need a helping hand. A fish has got to learn to swim on land. Walk with me, little girl, don't you be afraid. Follow me, little girl, let me be your guide. A pretty thing like a little thing or two, and whatever you need, Mama will provide. Oh, down the road, little girl, you may lose your way. All alone in a world that may seem too wide. But sit to Mama's lap, and I will draw a map. And whatever you need, Mama will provide. I'll provide you to soften the road, to sit on, to sleep underneath, fun for your toes, to fill up your belly, to burn your face, for making your bed. Bugs will bite, little girl, and the night will fall. All alone in the world that seems too wide. But you will make it through, 'cause I am loving you. And whatever you need, Mama will provide. Oh, hey, hey, hey.
Mama will provide. blue, knowing there's you somewhere nearby. When anyone feels your glow, their low has to get high. So how could I allow anything now to dim my eye with you? Long as there's you with me, the only thing blue is the sky.
We'll have a little white house with a little white fence made of pickets.
No one
A house on a hill, and if nature consents, we'll have crickets. At the end of the day, he'll come home to his favorite easy chair, his favorite pipe, and his favorite type of a girl. Are there? We'll have a little pink boy and a little pink girl and another.
Anything
A little
now
snub
to
nose and a little
dim
spit curl
my
like
eye with
We'll stay up night with the
Long as
knickers,
there's
you with his
you
pipe,
with me.
the dog with his slippers,
the
in our ever bright little white house.
I love a cop. I love a cop. What a situation, ain't it awful? Life is really grim. I can only say that it's unlawful how I feel towards him. I love a cop. I love a cop. If I introduce him as my steady, here where I'm confined, I can hear the rumors spread already. Dora's lost her mind, and my mate here, oh how gruesome. Can you see me introduce him? You remember her, she detested you. You remember him, he arrested you. I'm so confused. I'm so confused. If I loved a dentist or a doctor, I'd be up on top. But I love a cop. I love a cop. I love a cop. Though it wasn't easy to accept him, now I think he's sweet. You should hear him tell the way I swept him off his big flat feet. I love a cop. I love a cop. And I can see his drawbacks clear as crystal, but still I testify. Once you take away his club and pistol, Floyd won't hurt a fly. Floyd's ambitious, and he's forceful, energetic, and resourceful. I can see how far it will carry him. If he got an honest job, I would marry him. Well, that's how it is. He's mine, I'm his. Little did I know when Floyd first kissed me, and I whispered, "Stop, you can't stop a cop."
Isn't why I live or why I choose to die. Singing hasn't love to give or dreams to make me fly, even though it's wonderful, like nothing I have known. Once its music fades away, I find that I'm alone. Singing can't keep out the cold or change the dark to light. Singing hasn't arms to hold to help me through the night. Even though a gift like this is mine and mine alone, once the music fades away, it's not a lot to own. Come and hold me, come and hide me
du videl. One more day is past love. In the morning you will see. We'll find Papa and we'll be safe again at last, love. Now it's just the pair of us facing such a cold world. Papa will take care of us like the old world, like our old world. What's that music playing down there on the street? On that push cart, is that a thing you could eat? That one, why is he yelling so loud at the fat one? Ha! What a crowd they got, see that lady, what has she got on her head? No more hats here, it's feathers and fruits, instead so many noises, colors, mixed up and swirled into a brand new world here. Here we are in a brand new. Hush now, du videl. See, there's nothing wrong, love. Through so much we've come so far, acting braver than we are, missing Papa and our sweet old. There's that music, listen, it's playing so nice. On that wagon, all full of nothing but ice. Look there, see the clothing so fine, like a book there. And there's a Chinaman, see that lady, where did she find all those eggs? Look at that one, no, don't you can see her legs, that ain't no down there, tumble and twirl. No, it's a brand new world here, here we are in a brand new. Look, David, watch, David.
I am, Mama.
Listen, David. Look, David.
I will, Mama.
Now it belongs to you.
Where's that music?
See that sign there, covered with words I can't.
All those automobiles they've got here.
All these people selling things you don't need.
Everybody's so busy. They're so busy they're making me dizzy. My head's aching from all this noise here. Everyone hollers and motors and sirens and whistles and bells. And the air here is all covered up with smells. It's such a feeling, really, like we've been hurled a million miles and landed right in the heart. Did you see what that man did?
Look at the car, we may be lost and stranded, but we're part of a brand new world.
You've never seen anything like that library. There's so many books, so much marble, so quiet. And suddenly all of my confidence dribbled away with a pitiful plop. My head was beginning to spin and my clothes were to the cold perspiration. I started to reach for a book, but my hand automatically came to a stop. I don't know how long I stood frozen, a victim of panic and mortification. Oh, how I wanted to flee, when a kindly voice, a gentle voice, whispered, "Pardon me." And there was this dear, sweet, clearly respectable, thickly bespectacled man that stood by my side and quietly said to me, "Ma'am, don't mean to intrude, but I was just wondering, are you in need of some help?" I said no. Yes, I am. The next thing I know, I'm sipping hot chocolate and telling my troubles to Paul, whose tender brown eyes kept sending compassionate looks. A trip to the library has made a new girl of me, for suddenly I can see the magic of books. I have to admit, in the back of my mind I was praying he wouldn't get fresh. And all of the while I was wondering why illiterate girls should attract him. Then all of a sudden he said that I couldn't go wrong with the way of all flesh. Of course it's a novel, but I didn't know, or I certainly wouldn't have smacked him. Well, he gave me a smile that I couldn't resist, and I knew at once how much I liked this optometrist. You know what this dear, sweet, slightly bespectacled gentleman said to me next? He said he could solve this problem of mine. I said, how? He said if I'd like, he'd willingly read to me some of his favorite things. I said when. He said now. His novel approach seemed highly suspicious and possibly dangerous too. I told myself, wait, think, dare you go up to his flat? What happens if things go wrong? It's obvious he's quite strong. He read to me all night long. Now how about that? It's hard to believe how truly domestic and happily hopeful I feel. I picture my Paul there reading aloud as I cook. As long as he's there to read, there's quite a good chance indeed, a chance that I'll never need to open a book. Unlike someone else, someone I dimly recall, I know he'll only have eyes for me, my optometrist, Paul.
No canary in a cage for me. This canary's ready to fly free. Cut the cord. Ain't he the one I once adored? He's nothing but an albatross, no great loss, double crosser. forget about the boy. Pull the plug. Ain't he the one who pulled the rug? He's lower than an alley cat, dirty rat, and I flatter. Forget about the boy, forget about the boy, forget about the boy. And in the moonlight, don't you think about him. Brother, you're much better off without him. You can blow the blues a kiss goodbye and put the sun back in the sky. For when he comes crawling, I'm not falling. Shout hooray and hallelujah. Now me and Mr. Wrong are through. I'll find myself another foe who I know is no rover. Forget about the boy, forget about the boy, forget about Jimmy, oh Jimmy.
Horace, Milton, Edgar,
Jimmy,
Barney, Schreiber, CPA.
oh Jimmy, silly boy. Gee, what a real swell guy.
Forget about the boy.
Jimmy, oh Jimmy, oh what joy.
He's lower than an alley cat, dirty rat, and I forget about the boy, forget about the boy, forget about the myself another foe who I know is no rover. Forget about the boy, forget about the boy, forget about the boy, forget about the boy. And in the moonlight, don't you think about him. Brother, you're much better off without him. You can blow the blues a kiss goodbye and put the sun back in the sky. When he starts crawling, I'm not falling. Hallelujah. Forget about the boy, forget about the boy, forget about the
was just a world is a star. Tonight, the world is full and bright, with suns and moons all over the place. Tonight, the world is full and bright, going mad, shooting sparks into space. Today, the world was just an address, a place for me to live in, no better than alright. But here you are, and what was just a world is a star tonight. It all began tonight. I saw you, and the world went Good night. Sleep well, and when you dream of me.
Well, by Jove and by Jehovah, you have set my heart aflame.
And to you, young Casanova, my reactions are the same.
I would sing you tender verses, but the flair, alas, I lack.
Oh, go on, try to versify, and I'll versify back.
Cherry pies ought to be you.
Autumn skies ought to be you.
Mr. Pulitzer's prize ought to be you.
Romeo in disguise ought to be you.
Columbine ought to be you.
Sparkling wine ought to be you.
All of Beethoven's 9 ought to be
Every
you.
real Shakespeare line ought to be you.
You look so enticing, I'm starting to shake.
You are just the icing to put on my cake.
To continue, heaven's blue ought to be you.
Heaven too ought to be you.
Everything super do ought to be you.
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 Ought to be you. Ought to be you. continue. Horse meat steak ought to be you.
Pickled snake ought to be you.
Everything I can't take ought to be you.
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 Corn that's tough ought to be you.
The rough ought to be you.
Every old powder puff ought to be you.
Everything not enough ought to be you.
No one's pride ought to be you.
No one's pride ought to be you.
Just an old chicken fried ought to be you.
Cyanide on the side ought to be you.
That's the darndest get-up that I've seen in years.
Kid, if you don't shut up, I'll pull up your ears.
To continue, no one's goyle ought to be you.
Stream boil ought to be you.
Salad with castor oil ought to be you.
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 Ought to be you. Ought to be you. Ought to be you.
Unbelievable. In my own lifetime, I'd like to see the fighting cease. In my own lifetime, I'd like to see my sons enjoy the fruits of peace. While I'm still here, I want to know, beyond a doubt, that no one can lock us in or lock us out. We have climbed higher, much higher than I thought we'd climb. It's a long journey, and even though the end's in sight, there's not much time. I want to know we haven't built on sand in my own lifetime. In my own lifetime, I'd like to see our efforts blessed. In my own lifetime, I'd like to see the walls come down, and then I'll rest. This Moses wants to see the promised land. In my own lifetime.
abuse her or show her disdain? Why does she run from me? If I should lose her, how shall I regain the heart she has won from me? Agony beyond power of speech, when the one thing you want is the only thing out of your reach. High in her tower, she sits by the hour, maintaining her head, blithe and becoming, and frequently humming a light-hearted air. Agony far more painful than yours, when you know she would go with you if there only were doors. Agony, all the torture they teach. What's as intriguing or half so fatiguing as what's out of reach? Am I not sensitive, clever, well-mannered, considerate, passionate, charming, as kind as I'm handsome, and heir to a throne? You are everything maidens could wish for. Then why do I know? Girl must be mad. You know nothing of madness till you're climbing her hair and you see her up there as you're nearing her, all the while hearing her. Agony's array, though it's different for each. Always 10 steps behind, always 10 feet below, and she's just out of reach. Agony that can cut like a knife. I must have her to
No tip.
Every morning after breakfast, I bring him his coffee. I sit at the side of his bed and we talk. Every morning I ask, today can I marry you, Papa? And every morning he looks into my eyes, as he always does. His eyes say yes, but his words say no. What happens in his mind before his voice speaks? I don't know. But every morning after breakfast, I cry, I cry, I cry.
going. I didn't want to be in your stupid bar anyway.
Just about 6 months, you'll see the ground is busy shifting and you're sifting the debris. He tells you he loves you. He tells you that it's through. There's no more me and you. Just about 6 months, that's right. You'll find your jammy slept in when you crept in late at night. It's not really his fault, he's only human too, the same as me and you. Think about the royals, Charlie and Diane. When she'd enough, she dumped him, left him on his can. It must be tough to love a guy who's more than just a man. Away she flew, he had no clue. And baby, it could happen to you. Oh. Then there's Johnny Carson, ditched another wife. She fought like those before her, she married him for life. So when he chose to break the tie, it caught her like a knife. A big adieu, he left her too. And baby, it could happen to you. You try to be all things to keep love on track, but then it's not small things that make them come back. Don't forget Ivana, Trump by you know who. Her short career with Donald got panned in his reviews. You engineer, you amplify, but still the tale of two. Her big debut, she missed the cue. And baby, that could happen to you. So listen to Mother, who's worldly and wise. Don't be yet another with stars in his eyes. Marilyn struck him out. He thought that love could make her content if not devout. But hand in glove he'd catch a fly and she would sit and pout. So someone new came into view. She grabbed her hat and said adieu. She left his bat a bit askew. And baby, that could happen to you.
What do you get when you fall in love? A guy with a pin to burst your bubble. That's what you get from all your trouble. I'll never fall in love again. I'll never fall in love again. What do you get when you kiss a guy? You get enough germs to catch pneumonia. After you do, he'll never phone ya. I'll never fall in love again. Don't you know that I'll never fall in love again? Don't tell me what it's all about, 'cause I've been there and I'm glad I'm out of those chains that bind you. That is what fall in love again. No, no, I'll never fall in love again. Shattered, I'll never fall in love again. Don't you know that I'll never fall in love again? I'll never fall in love
ingenue. No, really, I do. I long for the thrills of a costume with frills and waltz songs and schmaltz songs in need of my trills. Don't laugh, but it's true. My heart palpitates when I'm told that I'm plucky. Gosh, I'm so lucky not to be heartless, but artlessly sweet. Ah, perfect, petite, and not quite obsolete. My romance, no backward glance. Just we two, must we two, trust me to chance. One more kiss, echoes of bliss, hysterical, lyrical phrases like this. No, really, it's true. My resume states won't sing in chest voice. My best voice is head. We're not all of us dead. Thank your stars and debut. Charming, disarming, true blue, ingenue.
as usual, my man, breaking my foolish heart. I really don't know what to do about him. I've told myself I've got to do without him. There he goes as usual, my man, tearing my heart apart. He's made my life a mess. I've got to do this, I guess. Goodbye, Joe. From here I kiss you. Goodbye, Joe. I hope I don't miss you. If you had been in the square and you treated me fair and we'd not had a tiff, if you had not said I should go and jump right off the nearest cliff, if you had stayed on the make and had never have taken to coming home stiff, if I had not smelled perfume with a nasty, unfamiliar whiff, I'm gonna miss you, baby. Things could have been terrific. Now what's the diff? If you had not had the cheek to stay out for a week saying back in a jiff, if you were not such a two-timing guy, if you weren't, if you hadn't, if you didn't, and you weren't, and you hadn't, and you didn't, and you were, and you had, and you went, and you did, and so goodbye. If I had not seen you take Geraldine on the lake in your flat-bottom skiff, if you were not found with Sue with your arms around her bare midriff, if I had not seen you pen sexy letters to Gwen in your own hieroglyph, if you had not left me home when you had 2 seats for South Pacific, I'm gonna miss you, baby. You were too darn prolific. Now what's the diff? If you had not been a hound when the gang was around, always picked up the sniff, if you were not such a two-timing guy, if you weren't, if you hadn't, if you didn't, and you weren't, and you hadn't, and you didn't, but you were, and you had, and you went, and you did, and so goodbye. If, when I'd asked where you'd been, you had not hit my chin with a beautiful biff, if I had not always found purple lipstick on your handkerchief, if you had not told me lies with that look in your eyes and a smile so beautiful, if when I'd found you with Kate, you had not said it's of no significance, I'm gonna miss you, baby, and I could get specific. Now what's the diff? If the best years of my life were spent as your wife with no marriage certif, if you were not such a two-timing guy, if you weren't, if you hadn't, if you weren't, if you didn't, if you hadn't, if you weren't, but you were, and you had, and you went, and you did, and so goodbye. See you later, Joe.
together.
I'll be with Lily Garland, right here with Lily Garland. My Lily will travel close together all across the land.
Together.
We're almost hand in hand. It's more than I can stand to know my favorite song.
My favorite song.
So very small.
So very small.
There her scent will fill the air. I'm not washing this hand ever again.
Our hearts with emotion reels as this prince of wheels tries to make its daily journey. Either try and why or else and why to try. New York, it's 16 hours. Anything can happen in those 16 hours on the flight across the night. America, the beautiful was born. America, the on the 20th century. On the 20th century. On the 20th century. On the luxury liner between and wine and shine. Life and love and luck may be changed. Hope renewed and fate rearranged. On the 20th century. On the 20th century. On the luxury liner between and wine and shine. Life and love and luck may be changed. Hope renewed and fate rearranged. On the 20th century. On the 20th century. On the luxury liner between and wine and shine.
Motoring down to the seashore, you in a new Model T. It would be a pity to stay in the city when people in motion are at the ocean. Motoring down to the seashore, spending a day there with me. It's charming, it's pretty, the view isn't pretty. It's not like the city you'll see.
Come with me, we'll see the sea together. Feel the sand, the surf, the sun. Come with me and we will be together, far away from everyone.
If I see them swooning or if I catch them mooning, I'll be there and never fear I'll make them rue it. If I see them kissing, they'll both of them go missing, and I'll drive his car into the sea.
Don't tell me where to go. I'm your wife, not your daughter. Soon you'll see, soon you'll know. There is life underwater. To the sea, we can go all together. To the sea, you and me. Let's all go see the sea. To the sea, to the sea.
he's a male.
Things to ponder when you're looking for Mr. Right.
Ways to squander when you're feeling a bit uptight.
A, is he ready?
B, is he steady? C, is he looking for a mate? Pill A, up in vanity, talking Spanish.
These days moving to Kuwait.
Things to speak of when you're speaking to Mr. Right. Things to ask him when you're starting to think he's right.
A, life ambitions.
B, superstitious. C, does he ever feel a grift?
D, what annoys him.
E, who employs him? F, what he thinks of Taylor Swift.
Things to fumble when you're speaking to Mr. Right.
Ways to stumble when it's looking like he might bite. A, get too jumpy.
B, act too grumpy.
C, let him know you really care. Pill A, be too busy. D, think you're dizzy.
Stays bored with this affair.
Things to think of when you think you found Mr. Right. Things to question when he wants you to spend the night. A, is he manic? B, does he panic?
C, what's he do with all those belts?
D, does he need you?
E, will he feed you?
F, does he think you're someone else? Things to wonder when you think you found Mr. Right. Ways to blunder when you want to impress as you try to undress in a room without too much light.
A, take his eye out.
B, make him cry out. C, say you're ready for romance. Till A, run for cover.
B, call his lover.
D, say you haven't got a chance. Till A, be too busy. D, think you're dizzy. D, be too busy. D, call his lover. D,
Run for cover. F, call his lover. G.
Seriously? Say you haven't got a chance. easy is part of his plan. How unfair that my life turned out to be this way. How unfair. Just a wife, and a wife who's forced to stay with the storm and with its duties, so he can play with his Parisian beauties. How unfair that a man can ruin a woman's name. How unfair that he can, but it's she who bears the shame, telling lies to friends and neighbors, while they all blame her for her pointless labors. That's what she gets. No society, no gowns, no glitter. Is it any wonder that she ends up bitter? Miserable husband, what a pig of a man, out to destroy me however he can, out to ensure my days are dreary, out to ensure that I go to bed weary. Miserable problem, what a pig of a spouse, making me prisoner within my own house, making me hide from words of slander, making me hide so he can go philander. Miserable husband, pig of a man, making me hate him is part of his plan. Pig of a man.
Do you have the courage to love somebody? Do you have the courage to love somebody? Do you have the courage to love somebody? Do you have the courage to love?
You've got to be carefully taught.
Do you have the courage to love somebody? Do you have the courage to love?
You've got to be taught to hate and fear. You've got to be taught from year to year. It's got to be drummed in your dear little ear. You've got to be carefully taught.
Do you have the courage to love somebody?
Yeah.
Do you have the courage to love?
You've got to be taught to be afraid of people whose eyes are oddly made, and people whose skin is a different shade. You've got to be carefully taught.
Do you have the courage to love somebody? Do you have the courage to love?
You've got to be taught before it's too late. Before you are 6 or 7 or 8. Hate all the people your relatives hate. You've got to be carefully taught. You've got to be carefully taught.
Do you have the courage to love somebody? Do you have the courage to love somebody? Do you have the courage to love somebody? Do you have the courage to love?
You've got to be taught before it's too late. Before you are 6 or 7 or 8. To hate all the people your relatives hate. You've got to be carefully taught. You've got to be carefully taught. It just don't happen, no. You learn from the people around you, yes you do. You've got to be taught to hate.
Can you give the gift
You've
of your
got to be taught to hate.
You know love is not a thought, love is an action.
Oh, yeah.
Can you walk the truth of your compassion?
We can teach love. We can
Can
teach
you
hope.
give the gift of your
We can
acceptance?
teach peace
You know
all
love is
over
not a
this
thought, love is an
world.
action.
Yeah.
Can you walk the truth of your compassion?
Do you have the courage to love somebody?
Wonder of wonders, miracle of miracles, God took a Daniel once again, stood by his side, and miracle of miracles, walked him through the lion's den. Wonder of wonders, miracle of miracles, I was afraid that God would frown, but like he did so long ago in Jericho, God just made a wall fall down. When Moses softened Pharaoh's heart, that was a miracle. When God made the waters of the Red Sea part, that was a miracle too. But of all God's miracles, large and small, the most miraculous one of all is that out of a worthless lump of clay, God has made a man today. Wonder of wonders, miracle of miracles, God took a tailor by the hand, turned him around, and miracle of miracles, led him to the promised land. When David slew Goliath, yes, that was a miracle. When God brought us manna in the wilderness, that was a miracle too. But of all God's miracles, loud and small, the most miraculous one of all is the one I thought could never be. God has given you to me. Yes!
Okay. What tea party? What's the special occasion? Not all dreams have great big dreams. Some people's dreams are small. Not all dreams have to have a golden fleece or any kind of fleece at all. Her dreams for today are very plain. No shining knight must kneel. Her dreams for today are very plain, but nevertheless they're real. They're all so very real. Simple little things, all she wants are simple little things. All she needs is someone beside her to have and to hold, someone to love her as she grows older. Simple little things, simple little dreams will do. Daddy, see the table set. Daddy, no, you have to be a teddy bear. Daddy, would you like a cup of tea? That's what she'd say. I'd say, why, thank you. Simple little things, all we want are simple little things. All we need is someone beside us to have and to hold, someone to love us as we grow older. Simple little things, simple little dreams will do. Daddy, Daddy. Simple little things. your feet today. Dance the blues away. We'll shake and shimmy, pushing the bounds of taste. Now take your arm and put it around my waist and glide us on that ballast floor. We can't want for more. As we explore how naughty we can be, we'll shimmy like they do in Sorry.
Shimmy on the left, shimmy on the right, let me see you shimmy up to me. Cuddle on the left, cuddle on the right, let me see how cuddly you can be. Snuggle up, come on, get closer. Snuggle up, I won't say no, sir. Now shimmy once again, let me see you shimmy after me. Sidle up again, while you're sidling up to me. Give it a try, explore how windmill we can be. We'll shimmy like they do in Ta. We'll shimmy like they do in Ta. We'll shimmy like they do in Ta. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4. Shimmy on the left, shimmy on the right. Let me see shimmy up to me. Snuggle on the left, snuggle on the right. Let me see how good it is. Snuggle up, come on, get closer. Snuggle up, put it around my waist. Now glide us on that ballast floor. Sidle again, while you're sidling up to me. Give it a try, explore how intimate we can be. We'll shimmy like they do in Ta. We'll shimmy like they do in Ta. We'll shimmy like they do in Ta.
Dear friend, I am so sorry about last night. It was a nightmare in every way. But together you and I will laugh at last night someday. Cream. He brought me ice cream, vanilla ice cream. Imagine that ice cream. And for the first time, we were together without a spark. Friendly, he was so friendly. That isn't like him. I'm simply stunned. Will wonders never cease? Will wonders never cease? It's been a most peculiar day. Will wonders never cease? Will wonders never cease? Oh, where was I? I am so sorry about last night. It was a nightmare in every way. But together you and I will laugh at last night someday. I sat there waiting in that cafe and never guessing that you were fat. Oh, no. I am so sorry. That you were near. You were outside looking bald. Oh, no. Brian? Dear friend, I am so sorry about last night. Last night, I was so nasty. Well, he deserved
Sweetheart, I'm so sorry, but I'm gonna have to stay an extra 3 days.
Are you kidding me? Come on, you knew better. We had plans. Come on.
And you know I have no control over my schedule.
And you knew this. What am I supposed to do? Go alone or cancel again?
Look, I can't do this right now. I've got a meeting in the morning.
Of course not. Fine, whatever. Bye.
I love you. When I leave you, I leave my heart behind. I go to sleep, resigned to dream of no one but you. The shadows that wander through my mind turn into you, I find when I leave you. I wake in the morning, my arms reach for you. I have to see you, to hold you, to tell you I love you. When I leave you, I leave my only dream, and day and night both seem to speak your name. When I leave you, I'm never the same.
I wake and I reach out, your pillow is empty. I think it's a dream, then I die. When you leave me, I know it's just a while, and still you take my smile and leave a sigh. When you leave me to cry.
I wake in the morning, my arms reach for you. I have to see you,
to hold you,
to tell you I love you. When I leave you,
when you leave,
I leave my only dream,
and day and night both seem to speak your name.
When you leave me, I'm never the
Come with me, I'll take you soaring, and you won't believe your eyes. Ideas to see, and thoughts you can be. I make worlds with star-filled skies.
Come with me, I'll take you dreaming, for in dreams I open doors. Through visions you feel, and truths that are real.
a gift you can borrow, wrapped tightly with lace and with rose. Wrapped tightly with lace and come with me. I'll take you sailing where imagination thrives on ships made of gold and legends untold. I made worlds
with joy-filled let us pass through our perfect park, pausing on a Sunday by the cool triangular water, by the soft grass, as we pass through arrangements of shadows towards the verticals of trees by the green, orange, violet mounds of the grass in our perfect park, made of flecks of light and dark and parasol. Bum 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 bum. All the small suburban park on an island in the river.
We have an encore. On an ordinary Sunday, the children and youth of Arts for All Kids are encouraged to use their imagination to create new worlds, to make their lives better. And they are encouraged to take that imagination and look to the future to make our world better. Thank you for supporting Arts for All Kids. Thank you for supporting these amazing children that we work with, for they are truly our hope for tomorrow. Our mission for Arts for All Kids is to provide free fine arts lessons for children and youth and families who cannot afford instruction. Our values are under the umbrella of believing that the arts should be available to everyone regardless of financial status. It's meant to be fun, it's meant to be no pressure, it's meant to be welcoming and inclusive of everyone.
I started violin in my second year, and after going to my first class, I was just like, this is what I want to pursue. Arts for All Kids is different from other art programs because it encourages the kids to try stuff that they may not have tried in school or anything else, and it gives the kids a chance to find something that they love and just make a whole bunch of new friends and be a part of the community. The feeling that I get when I go to Arts for All Kids and when I went to Arts for All Kids is just pure joy. It was just so fun to go to class and have multiple laughs with the volunteers, teachers, and students. Some of my future goals and dreams are to become a music teacher for kids so I can help kids become better people and better musicians. If I hadn't started at Arts for All Kids and chosen violin, I would have never been where I am now. And I see the violin being not only my main income, but my main source of happiness. Arts for All Kids makes kids into better people because it shows them that whatever situation you're in, there's still a positive way to get out of it. You can come here and express how you're feeling and turn it into something positive.
Arts education is extremely important. It helps kids with their critical thinking skills, their communication, but beyond that, it just helps them to be good people, to find the people in their communities that are like-minded, to find ways to express themselves beyond just language, whether it's a musical instrument, writing, drawing, acting, dancing, moving, whatever it is that they're doing, it helps them to thrive on a daily basis instead of just surviving. Watching these kids grow is the greatest privilege of my entire career. It gives me a lot of sense of belonging and community myself because I walk into a place with all of these volunteers who are so dedicated to what they do, dedicated to their own arts.
If someone were to ask me why they should volunteer for us, I would say because you're going to love the kids. This is a great place to share your passion and to see immediate response and results.
We're building stronger generations when we fund the arts. We're building healthier people who have the ability to access the full range of human emotion, whether it's verbally or whether it's through that art access.
We don't believe the arts are a frill. We believe the arts are a growing up necessity. They are just as important to a child's development as physical activity or education and academia.